Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Imagination Library of Kansas statewide expansion celebration. My name is Troy Waymaster. I live in Bunker Hill, Kansas, and am privileged to serve as the representative for House District 109 in the central part of the state. And I'm very excited that this day has arrived and that you are here with us to enjoy this celebration. Before I get too far into this, I'd like to introduce you to two people who are here with me today, my wife Crystal and our son Christian. You know, they are my inspiration and why I'm so excited beginning in 2021 to work with my colleagues in the legislature, Governor Laura Kelly, and the Kansas Children's Cabinet as we announced our effort to expand Dolly Parton's Imagination Library statewide. The inspiration for my motivation to implement the Dolly Parton Imagination Library statewide derives from my son, Christian. When Christian was born, my wife and I immediately enrolled him to participate in the Imagination Library. Instantly, he started receiving books at the beginning of the month, and we cherished the time with him as we sat and read to him his newly arrived book. He has his own very library that was made possible by the Imagination Library. And that began me to think. Every child, every family across Kansas should have the same opportunity that Christian has. See, we are fortunate where we live that we live in the area of the Dane G. Hansen Foundation. And they partnered with the Imagination Library so every child in their 26-county area could participate. Though, my desire was to have this opportunity for every child in the state of Kansas, so they can start the path to literacy as Christian has. That is when I reached out to the Dollywood Foundation and spoke to Nora Briggs. And that's where it all started. When we were crafting the budget on the House Appropriations Committee, I made the amendment to provide for a statewide program for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and then I met with Governor Laura Kelly to discuss the importance of this being included in the budget. And I have to say, it was a simple negotiation and not a difficult sell. Now, all children ages 0 to 5 in the state of Kansas can reap the benefits of receiving a book every month and spend those precious moments with their family like my son does. I have to admit that Christian will be aging out of the library program when he turns 5 in September. But he was so excited when he received his book this month, Rabbit Snow Dance. And we will continue to receive monthly books as my wife and I immediately enrolled our twins, Chancellor and Charles, to the Imagination Library when they were born in January. And the first book that they received, just like Christian, was The Little Engine That Could. And they will continue to add to the library that Dolly Parton started in our home with Christian as they just received the pudgy book of Mother Goose. Reading is simply the single most effective way to open a world of opportunity for our children. The goal of the statewide expansion was to ensure that books are available to children in every single zip code across the state of Kansas. And in 2021, Kansas had 82 local community partners covering portions of 77 counties. Today, thanks to our focused and collective efforts, I'm proud to confirm that Kansas has 112 local programs covering all 105 counties in the state of Kansas. And so right now, I would like those individuals in the audience that are representing these community partners to please stand and be recognized for your commitment to the children of Kansas. Thank you so much for your support and making today a reality. I'd also like to call your attention to today's event sponsors who have joined us in celebration and in this larger commitment to our future. Many thanks go to GEHA, the Government Employees Health Association, Capital Federal Savings Bank, Heartland Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Hallmark Cards, and Representative Fred Patton and his wife, Kim. Together, these sponsors are strengthening our public-private partnership and ensuring we can continue to deliver the gift of reading through the Imagination Library to even more Kansas children. So now, let's get the celebration started. Just a housekeeping item, no pictures to be taken during the program. And without further ado, please help me welcome the governor for the great state of Kansas, Governor Laura Kelly.
At ease. So, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Representative Waymaster, for that introduction and for reminding me that I can negotiate with you on various items. And I'll talk to you later. But in all seriousness, thank you so much for taking the lead on expanding the Dolly Parton Imagination Library in the state of Kansas. You know, and to the members of our congressional delegation and our state legislature here today, I'm grateful for the support that you've shown for this very important initiative. It'll pay dividends for all Kansans every day in every corner of the state. I also want to thank my Lieutenant Governor, David Tolan, members of my cabinet, Commissioner of Education, Randy Watson, for your commitment to giving Kansas children the resources they need to succeed. And to Melissa Rooker, please stand up. Melissa is the head of our Children's Cabinet and Trust Fund. And she and her folks have worked tirelessly to grow this program and to bring it to communities all across our state. I also want to recognize the 2020 National Teacher of the Year, Kansas's own Tabitha Rossboy. Tabitha, where are you? There you are. Now again, Tabitha was the 2020 National Teacher of the Year. And she is the only early childhood educator ever to receive this incredibly prestigious award. Good on you, and good on Kansas. So this is an exciting day, and I am thrilled to be here to celebrate this amazing milestone and to give a big Kansas welcome to the beloved American icon who made it all possible, Dolly Parton. She's not coming on stage yet, but I am just as eager as you are to bring her on stage. But before we do that, I want to spend just a few minutes telling you about the Imagination Library and what this expansion means for the children of Kansas. You know, Dolly Parton launched the Imagination Library in 1995 in her home county of Sevier, Tennessee. She created it as a tribute to her own father, whom she describes as the smartest man she has ever known, but whose inability to read or write kept him from fulfilling all his dreams. As the flagship program of the Dollywood Foundation, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library aims to instill a lifelong love of reading in children and a curiosity about the world, to inspire them to dream more, to learn more, to care more, and to be more. Since 1995, the Imagination Library has distributed more than 200 million free books to children in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia. Children who are enrolled in the program receive a free, age-appropriate book in the mail each month from birth until their 5th birthday. By the time they graduate from the Imagination Library, each child will have received up to 60 books. In communities where it has been implemented, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library is open to any child under the age of 5, regardless of family income. Throughout the United States, about 1 in 10 children under the age of 5 are enrolled in the program. Worldwide, the Imagination Library sends out 2 million books every month. Kansas has a special relationship with the Imagination Library. In 2005, Al Alling worked with the Dollywood Foundation to establish the first local Imagination Library affiliate outside of Tennessee, in Pratt, Kansas. This local, This local affiliate became a model for other states to build public-private partnerships to expand the program across the country. You know, Al passed away in 2018, but his children, Mike and Candace, are here today. Would the whole Alling family please stand to be recognized? See, look what you started. Today, Kansas is one of just 15 states where the program is available statewide, with even more coming online later this year. We have also opened 3 new story adventure trails in state parks in Milford, Clinton, and El Dorado. These trails highlight books from the Imagination Library that encourage engagement with nature and our surrounding environment. I want to thank Linda Lanterman and everyone at the State Parks Division for spearheading this initiative and for finding creative ways to advance the Imagination Library outside of homes and schools. You know, since I took office, promoting early childhood development has been one of my top priorities. A child's first 5 years are the most critical time for brain development and play a crucial role in determining their social, emotional, their physical, and their cognitive future. 2 of the most important factors in a child's success in school and in life are an early introduction to books and being read to at home. Now, I probably went a bit overboard with this idea when years ago I chastised my husband, a voracious reader himself, for not reading enough to our 2-week-old daughter. I didn't want to waste any time, any opportunity. So I am a firm believer that investing in high-quality early childhood education programs like the Imagination Library of Kansas is essential to putting children on the path to long-term success. That's why the first executive order of my second term as governor established the Early Childhood Transition Task Force to improve childcare and early learning for all young Kansans. And that's also why, in my budget proposal for this year, I included additional funding for the Kansas Children's Cabinet and Trust Fund to supplement local resources and expand the program across the state. I want to again thank the Kansas legislature for passing that budget and ensuring that every child in Kansas from birth to age 5 can receive a free book every month from Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Currently, more than 60,000 children are enrolled in the Imagination Library across our state. That includes the more than 10,000 children who signed up in the last month or so since we announced Dolly's visit. Kansas is now one of the fastest growing state-level Imagination Library programs in the world. And since that program in Pratt started 18 years ago, nearly 4 million books have been distributed to young Kansans. I urge all parents and caregivers of kids under 5 who are not already taking advantage of this fantastic program to enroll their children as soon as possible. So now, Without further delay, it is my great honor and pleasure to introduce the woman behind this magnificent program. Dolly Parton has had an impact on millions of people around the world. Like so many others, I first became a fan through her music and by cheering her on in the movie 9 to 5. But I've become an even bigger admirer of her since learning about her so many philanthropic efforts. Dolly Parton is a multi-platinum selling artist whose career has spanned more than 50 years, and she is still going strong. She has received 51 Grammy nominations and 11 Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award. She's a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Beyond 9 to 5, her acting credits include classic films like Steel Magnolias, and her seemingly endless catalog of songs, including the timeless tunes like Jolene and I Will Always Love You, have united generations of listeners through their powerful storytelling, their catchy melodies, and their universal themes. Today, she's here with us in Kansas to celebrate our statewide Imagination Library milestone. So please, join me in welcoming Dolly Parton to the stage.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi there. Hello, Governor Kelly. How are you? Good. You want to go sit down or something? Is that what we're going to do? Okay. I guess so. I got my own mic. You got yours. How's everybody doing? Good. Well, I'm just happy as I can be to be here, and I am so excited that this is Dolly's Imagination Library Day. Thanks to all of you, and I'm so excited that we're here. And Al, I met Al and his family, and as you were saying, they were the first ones outside of Tennessee to take this on, and I just am so happy about this. We've been going for a few years now, but we got a long way to go. We got to put more books in the hands of more kids. So anyway, I guess you're going to ask me some questions. Don't be too hard on me, okay?
Well, Dolly, I have to tell you that this is so awkward for me in many ways because I haven't been the one asking questions since I left the state senate.
Well, it's about time you started up again, don't you think?
I will. And so I do. I mean, I've got all these questions right here ready to ask you. But, you know, when I was backstage, I was thinking, what I really want to know is there a question in all of the questions, thousands upon thousands that you've been asked, that you always wished somebody had asked you and has not?
No, but I've wished they wouldn't have asked me some of the questions they have. I don't know. I honestly think that I have been asked every question that you could imagine. There's a few things people don't know about me, though, like that I own the National Enquirer. All the stories they tell about us celebrities. I don't really. That was just a joke, but
No, keep going. This is going to be much more interesting than these questions.
no, but actually, I think I've been asked about everything, and sometimes if it's questions I don't really want to answer, I'll just act like I heard something else, and I'll just tell them what I want them to know.
Well, okay, but then let's get serious. This Imagination Library is really a phenomenal concept. How did you come up with it, and why did you come up with it?
Well, I think I heard you talking about the reason I came up with it was because of my own daddy. And, of course, I had the best mom and daddy in the world, and we're very country people. We lived way back in the Great Smoky Mountains, and Mom and Daddy got married when Mama was 15 and Daddy was 17. And by the time that they were 35 and 37 years old, they already had 12 kids. That's working pretty fast, ain't it? I always say Mama had one on her and one in her for as long as I can remember. Carried one.
And you weren't even Irish.
Yeah. I always make a joke about that we kept Mama on a pedestal. That was the only way we could keep Daddy away from her, pretty much. Oh, you said the Irish. I know a lot of times people ask, they say, well, you had 12 kids, your parents had 12 kids, you must be Catholic. I said, no, we were just horny hillbillies. But seriously, see, I don't mean no disrespect with that, but anyway, my daddy worked really hard, and my dad was from a family bigger than ours. There's about 15 of those kids, I think, and being back that far back in the mountains, kids didn't really get a chance to go to school. They had to stay at home and work to help feed the rest of the family. And of course, the schools were miles away in bad weather and all. So my dad didn't get a chance to go to school, and he couldn't read and write, but he was so smart, and that seemed to trouble him a lot. So it troubled me that my daddy was troubled. And so I just got the big idea one year. I thought, I'm going to start a program, and I'm going to get my daddy involved in it. And that's how the Imagination Library came to be. And I had my daddy do all the stuff with me, and I was just saying, Daddy, you don't need to be ashamed, because there's millions of people around the world that can't read and write, trust me. And so I made him feel better about himself. He made me feel better because Daddy was smart, and he would guide me and direct me in certain ways because he had a good business mind. And so Daddy got to live long enough to see the Imagination Library doing really good. And I'm always thinking my daddy's looking down and saying, you go, honey, you go. But that's what really started it. And we just thought I was going to do it for maybe just a county or two over, that we might take it. And then, of course, the governor at the time, Governor Phil Bredesen, he got wind of it, and he took it statewide. And, of course, he had a young fellow working for him at the time called Jeff Conyers, and he was very involved in it. And just a few years back, well, Jeff started working with us, and now he's the president of the Imagination Library. And so he's just doing great. So it's just one of those things that started out for right reasons, and it's just continued for the right reasons. People like all of you that are helping with us, helping us all around the country, and we're hoping to someday be statewide in all of America. So,
Oh, that's great. So we really do need to thank your father. I mean, the number of children who will learn to read because he couldn't is astounding, and thank you for taking that on.
well, I think the little kids, they love, for those of you that don't know exactly what all they do, the little kids get a book from the time they're born. Actually, for every month, they get a book in the mail with their little name on it. And, of course, you sign up. Mostly they sign up at the hospitals when a kid's born. Don't cost the parents nothing. And it's just one of those things that if you just sign your name as parents, then and put the little child's name, they get that little book. And boy, they're going to get that book. They're going to run to that mailbox as soon as they can walk. And they're going to take that book in and make somebody sit and read. So it is my belief that if you can read, you can self-educate yourself if you can't afford to go to college or to school. So it's really a sweet program, too.
It is. So you recently received the Bezos Courage and Civility Award. You're getting a grant of $100 million for philanthropic efforts.
I got that all in my pocket. I ain't giving that to nobody.
Well, I got some suggestions on ways that you
That's
might want
a
to
joke,
invest
of
that.
course.
But did you have some ideas of your own?
Actually, I was very honored to get that. Bezos is a generous man. In fact, I just saw on the news yesterday where he had donated $100 million to Maui, for the fires and things over there. So obviously he's very generous. But he had heard about a lot of the great works that I had done with different things, and so he just thought that maybe I should have it. And I'm a firm believer in putting your money where your heart is, and so I really believe in doing as much as I can for the children, and I've donated some of the money to different things. And I said charity begins at home, so I've invested some of it in East Tennessee and Nashville for children's programs outside of the Imagination Library. Same in Nashville. But a big part of the money I donated to the Imagination Library so we can get more books into the hands of more children, because that's my main charity. And I still have a lot of that money left. I have 10 years to spend that. You have to usually send out maybe $20 million a year. And so you got up to 10 years to spend it. So I'm sure that I'm going to continue to invest in the education of children, and a big part of it being for the Imagination Library.
Well, so,
Yeah.
Dolly, this is going off script again, but I was reading Sarah Marsh's book, She Come By It Natural. And in there, she talked a lot about you were establishing Dollywood, the theme park, in Tennessee. Could you tell us what was behind that? Why you invested so much energy and resource into establishing a theme park in the mountains?
Well, first of all, it goes back to kind of wanting to do something nice, in the Bible where it says, honor thy father and thy mother. I don't think that necessarily just means to obey them. I think it means to bring honor to their name. So I'm always trying to think about things I can do. And in that part of the country, I consider everybody up there family. Even if they're not related to us by blood, they're my people. And so I knew early on that the Great Smoky Mountains had a pretty big draw. We draw more people, and a lot of people don't realize that the Great Smoky Mountain National Park is the most visited national park in the United States. People think it's Yellowstone or another park, but it's not. So they usually get like 9 million people, maybe more now. So in my business mind, I thought, well, it would be great to have something for the local people, that people got tired of camping, tired of being up in the woods and in the park, and you can only hike so much and eat so many picnics and walk so many trails or whatever. I thought it'd be great that, if they could kind of leave the park, the campgrounds, and come down to some place to be entertained. So actually, I also knew that there were a lot of poor people in that part of the country and that needed jobs. So I had several reasons to do it. And so I did start Dollywood, and now we employ more people than anybody in Tennessee. And they told us that, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this yet because I'm supposed to go receive it, but we get a lot of awards, a lot of golden ticket awards, and we got one special one coming up real soon that we might just be the best park in the world. I know we've had some of the, so we're very proud of that. We're getting like over 3 million visitors a year. Have you ever been to Dollywood? Any of you? Well, you better get down there. I told you I need the money. It costs a lot to look this cheap. My old saying. But I'm very proud of the park, as I'm proud of the Imagination Library. It's just things from my heart. It's something I can share with my people, my family, as well as my people. And we're all doing well up there. It's providing lots and lots of jobs for lots of people.
Tennessee is really lucky to have you as a native daughter.
Well, I'm lucky to be from Tennessee, too. I'm proud of my home. I think everybody should be proud of where they're from.
So, Dolly, you're doing a lot of different things. You talked about some of the things you're planning to do with the Bezos grant. Are there other projects that are under the radar that nobody's heard about that you're working on, or things in your mind that you will turn on the switch in a month, in a year?
Well, I don't really know exactly what all I will do. I'm led by spirit. I say I live on creative and spiritual energy, and I always pray that God will lead me, into what I'm supposed to be doing, and I try to keep my heart, my eyes, my ears open for that. But I'll continue to put money where I feel like it's needed the most, and I just ask that I'm kind of drawn to that. I don't think I have to go spend it all at one time. And I'm always doing things that are out of the ordinary, something I just see and I think, well, I need to do that, whether that's my money, not Bezos' money. But I will continue to do things, and I wake up with new dreams every day and new thoughts every day, and I'll just continue dreaming, and hopefully I'll be able to continue to do more things to help more people, because I love to share. I've been blessed, and I think if you get in a position to help, you should help. So I'll just be looking for whatever else I can do to help.
Well, Dolly, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and I think everybody else out there wouldn't mind if we kept this going for a very, very long time. But I know you got a plane to catch, and I know they would like and would be honored if you would sing a couple for us.
Okay, I will. I will. Hey, can I say this though? You are just so soft-spoken. How'd you get in politics? I thought you had to scream and yell and hoop and holler to be in politics.
It's my magic,
It's
Dolly.
okay. I just wanted to know for myself.
Okay.
You seem like a wonderful, wonderful woman, and she must be a great governor.
Thank you very
All right, thank you. Okay.
I'm going to exit stage.
You're going to exit, and I'm going to get a guitar and mic stand. Do I have a mic stand? Okay, it's coming. Look at this good-looking guy. That's Steve Summers. He helps me in and out of my clothes.
Excuse me.
He makes my clothes.
Don't put that on yet.
Don't put it on. Oh.
I, as soft-spoken as I am, I'm also forgetful.
Okay.
We need to move on right over here.
All right. Is this mine?
It is
All right.
now.
All right. Okay. So
Dolly,
I guess
we don't want you to leave Kansas empty-handed, and so earlier I presented you a proclamation
Yes, you
declaring
did.
this Dolly Parton Day in the state of
And
Kansas.
I'll take that home and put it in my museum. Thanks to all of you for
Okay.
that, especially
But
you.
we're going to go even further than that and recognize today as the Imagination Library of Kansas Day here in the state of Kansas.
Yay, thank you for that too. That's
And-
wonderful.
We have over here for you, I don't know if you have been past our beautiful state capitol, the nicest one in the country. It was restored. It took 14 years and $330 million. But one of the things that we were able to preserve from the old one was some of the copper from the dome. So what you see here on this box, which is engraved with a sunflower, our state flower, is the Imagination Library of Kansas statewide expansion celebration, August 14th, 2023, and this is on copper from the dome of the state capitol.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for that. That's a keepsake, something else to go in my museum.
And then
Oh,
inside,
look at there.
this is also copper from the dome, decorated by a Kansas artist, just for you.
Well, I assumed that the sunflower was your state flower.
It is.
Because I had about 15 dozen cookies in my dressing room, all of them made up with sunflowers, and they were so good. I thought that must be that.
And it is sunflower season
Yeah,
right now.
I know. Well, thank you. This is wonderful. Now, I actually had a gift for you. They had an easel out here that I was going to donate something for you in Kansas. And it's a book, one of our big Coat of Many Colors books, but I left it on the airplane because we just flew in and I had to get dressed in the back of the plane. So I had to get all the boys that was riding on the plane out front so I could go back there. I was trying on dresses, trying to wear the appropriate thing, and I put this on. Somebody said, "Are you naked under there?" I said, "No, that wouldn't be this is like cloth under there." I said, "No, I'm the book lady. I can't go naked out on the station." But sincerely, I swear to you, I left it on the plane. So when I get on the plane in a few minutes, I am going to sign it. Then I'm sending it back over with the people that drove me to the airport, okay? So it's for all of you. So
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
sorry about that. Now, can I sing now?
Well, you can go ahead and sing, Dolly.
Thank you so much. We'll take these with us on the plane. It's nice of all of you to come be here. And I'm going to get rid of this one and put that on. And let me lay that down. Okay. I'm going to stand up here, get my little guitar on, and sing you a song. Okay. Well, don't break my hair. Actually, that's Steve Summers. He's our creative director at our company. He makes my clothes, and He designs all the stuff that we need. Let me get all this together so I don't bang my... I swear to you, I'm going to sing in a minute. Whether you believe it or whether you're in the governor, believe it or not. Okay, anyway, I'm sure a lot of you, I was talking about my daddy a while ago. Well, I had a really nice mama, too. My mama was a great person. She was the perfect match for my dad, for them to have a house full of kids like that. And, of course, Mama, she had to make and remake all of our clothes. And, of course, I wrote a little song that's become quite famous, even did a little movie about it. So I'm going to do it because I was talking about Daddy and talking about home. And I'm going to dedicate this to all the good mamas out there and your mama, wherever she may be, whether here or up there where mine is now. Anyway, it's Coat of Many Colors. Remember it? Goes like this. Back through the years, I go wandering once again, back to the seasons of my youth, and I recall a box of rags someone gave us, and how my mama put the rags to use. There were rags of many colors, but every piece was small. I didn't have a coat, and it was way down in the fall. Mama sewed the rags together, so in every piece with love she made my coat of many colors that I was so proud of. While Mama sewed, she told a story from the Bible she had read about a coat of many colors Joseph wore, and then she said, I hope this coat will bring you good luck and happiness. And I just couldn't wait to wear it, and Mama blessed it with a kiss. My coat of many colors that my mama made for me, made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. And although we had no money, I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me. So with patches on my breeches, holes in both my shoes, in my coat of many colors, I hurried off to school, just to find the others laughing and making fun of me in my coat of many colors Mama made for me. And oh, I couldn't understand that, 'cause I felt I was rich, and I told them of the love Mama sewed in every stitch. Even told them all the story Mama told me while she sewed, and why my coat of many colors was worth more than all their clothes. They didn't understand it, and I tried to make them see. One is only poor, only if they choose to be. It's true we had no money, but I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me, 'cause she made it just for me. Ah, thank you. Thank you. That's a sweet little song. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. I know when that song became a big hit, I was going to take Mama shopping. So when I first got my first royalty check, so I went up home. I said, Mama, get your pocketbook. I'm taking you to Knoxville. That was the nearest big town up there. I'd come from Nashville up there. I said, I'm going to buy you a new mink coat. She said, a mink coat? Where am I going to wear a mink coat around here to a dog fight? She said, won't you just give me that money? So I did, seriously. But I always think about that little coat, because I had carried that hurt inside me for a long time. Didn't even realize it until one day I started writing that song. And I mean, when I got that first royalty check, that hurt just left me like that. It's amazing how healing money can be, ain't it? No, I'm just joking. But it was really fulfilling to me to know that I got that hurt out of me, and I've had so many people through the years talk about how that little song has changed their life in one way or another. You've been made fun of about one thing or another, whether it's being poor or being handicapped or being heavy, being too skinny, being this and that. Well, it's not a good feeling when somebody makes fun of you for any reason. So I'm glad that that little song has had a healing effect on a lot of people, especially me. Of course, now we're here to talk about the Imagination Library. Now, when I started this back so many years ago, well, I thought, well, I'm going to need to have a theme song for it if I'm going to have a foundation. So I did. I wrote a song, and I thought, well, what should it be about? It should just be about doing your best, and it should be just about trying to be your best. I mean, we fall, we get up, we try again, but you're never going to know if you can do a thing or not if you never take the time to try it, or if you're afraid to try it. So I thought, well, try. That would be a good name for a song for the Imagination Library. So that's what I call this one, kind of the story of my life as well. And it goes like this. I have chased after rainbows, I've captured one or two. I've reached for the stars and I have even held a few. I've walked that lonesome valley, topped the mountains, soared the sky. I've laughed and I have cried, but I have always tried, 'cause I've always been a dreamer, and dreams are special things. But dreams are of no value if they're not equipped with wings. So secure yourself for climbing, make ready for the sky. Don't let your chance go by. You'll make it if you try. So try to be the first one up the mountain, the highest flying dreamer in the sky, and try your best to be an inspiration for others that are still afraid and shy, and try to make the most of every moment, 'cause if you never try, you never win. So try each day to try a little harder, and if you fail, get up and try again. You know, nothing is impossible if you can just believe. Don't live your life in shackles when faith can be the key. The winner's one that keeps determination in his eyes, who's not afraid to fly and not afraid to try. So try to be the first one up the mountain, and try to be the first to touch the sky. And don't let somebody tell you you can't do it. And if they say that, show them it's a lie. And if you fail at first, just keep on trying, 'cause you are not a failure in God. don't try. And the first step is the one that's always hardest. But you'll never really know if you don't try. You have to try. Thank you so much. And God bless you, and thanks for helping out with our program. And I hope to see you again sometime soon. God bless you. See you later. Well, I tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come to life. I jump in the shower and the blood starts.
All I can say is wow. Dolly Parton, ladies and gentlemen. What an exceptional human being to share her influence and resources to benefit children and families here in Kansas and all over the world. Her amazing work is a catalyst for growth and inspiration for us all. Every one of us can be a part of Dolly's vision to create a world where our children can realize their dreams and be proud of what they contribute. I know there are so many people who have traveled across the state to be here today. I hope, as we adjourn to the lobby to enjoy a snack or something cold to drink, that you'll take time to meet someone new today, take a selfie or two, check out the display of wonderful books that are part of the Imagination Library, and then consider making a donation to support the Imagination Library of Kansas. Volunteers will be available to assist with this. Also, purchase a commemorative statewide celebration poster from which all proceeds will be charitable donations used to purchase books for children. We look forward to continue to work together and to support the Imagination Library of Kansas for many years to come. Thank you so much.